Shit. It's time to own yourself, brothers and sisters. It's time to own ourselves. We gotta own our goddamn self. Trying to get this shit together. We gotta own ourselves. You know, people be so proud of like having jobs and all that. But I mean, you know what it is? People fall victim to social scrutiny. Excuse me. That's why everybody so like people are shunning you for not having a job. That's where we at with it. Like I remember one of my businesses. I was making like 6 figures already at this business. I was already doing like not high 6 figures, like 120 grand a year, something like that, right? One of my family members, that our people are so indoctrinated that one of my family members was telling me that I should get a job too, and and have my you know what I'm saying? I was like, but if I get a job, not only am I gonna lose, I'm gonna lose money because those valuable hours that I'm putting into that job, I could be just putting into my business. You see what I'm saying? So not only am I gonna lose money, I'm taking myself away from my family because I work from home. My business, we do it from home. So I'm go get a job for what? To lose money and to not be at home? But that's how mentally fucked a lot of us are. We just think that a job, like the black community, thinks that like a job is like to save all. Like that'll save you no matter what your situation is, no matter what you got going on. Just get a job and it'll be all better. Nah, no. Damn near every time I had a job, I think my whole life I've had several jobs. My whole life, I've only had one job that actually paid enough to where I could live off of just that and I don't have to do no extra shit. I had one job. I had one job my whole life. Well, no, because the army didn't even pay enough. Believe it or not, the army didn't even pay enough. That's why I was in the streets still when I was in the army. I had one job my entire life that I could just work that job, pay my rent, pay my bills, all that. Every other job that I had, you had to hustle on the side or work just crazy hours to where it didn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't really understand the whole pushing the job. I think when you young, you probably should get a job just so that you know what you don't really want to do for real. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know that that ain't the lane for you, for real, because you be experienced it already. You're not just saying some shit. You didn't actually had a job, so you know you experienced it. So I think young people should get jobs just to experience having a job. But that should not be your end goal. Is to I'm not gonna say that because each person's end goal, each person's life is different. Each person's uh, plan that they have for their life is different. So I'm not gonna say what you should or should not do. That sounds crazy. I'm gonna say if we wanna get the black community where it need to be, we're gonna have to create businesses, own land. We got to own some shit, create some shit, businesses and all that. We're gonna have to be the ones giving the jobs. We can't be the ones working the jobs thinking that we're gonna get ahead. We need to be the ones owning the companies, giving out the jobs. If we're trying to make, the black community more successful and all that. That's what we need to do. All this preaching, getting a job, and all that. That's slave mentality. And I'm not sitting here saying you shouldn't get a job when you need to. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the black community is too focused on that as a principle of life to get a job. Why don't we say? I never hear like even Sean Cotton, say cheese. I heard he made a video saying get a job, but he don't have a job. He You know what I'm saying? He went and got on his grind. You know, he said he got a camera when he was young and he went to work. He went and got his camera and went to work with it. He didn't have a job. He made it successful. So why are we preaching getting a job? Why not preach? Go hard on your business. Get up, do more videos, do this, edit better. Why not preach that? Why are we preaching get a job? We don't own none of the companies. Now if you preaching getting a job for a black company, so be it. But that's not the case. We don't own none of the companies. So it's like you're basically you're basically shunning your people for not wanting to work for white people. Basically, that's basically what you, that's basically what the black community we basically shun our people for not working for white people. That's insane to me. I'm saying I was super up, 6 figures, business growing, still growing. Probably I had projected it to do 250,000. I had projected to do 250,000 the next year. The growth that we was getting, and I had a family member tell me I should get a job. What? What the fuck? So I done created this business. I done grinded with this business from the ground. I'm talking about from dirt. When I first started, I started the whole business with $300. I had nothing but $300. I had made that $300 driving some dude to Houston. It was a meth head. It was a rich meth head. It was a rich meth head, and he had a tricking problem. He liked to trick with the black women, and the women he was tricking with was in Houston, but they was in the hood. He didn't want to go to the hood without a nigga with him, so I was like his hired black representative in the hood and shit. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. But that's how I made the $300. He gave me $300 to do that. Just one day went out there. He had a rental car, nice ass lack. Riding around the lack. I'm riding him to his little hoes and shit. He tricking with this one. Go to the next one, trick with that one. Go to the next one, trick with that one. He was doing that type of time. And I'll just be sitting out in the car waiting for him to get done with it. He paid me $300 to do that. So hey, I had to look $300, and I started my first aid company from $300, bro. I didn't have no address. I didn't have nothing. When I first started, I was using inflatable mannequins to do the classes and shit. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I'm saying all that to say, I grinded that business from scratch to 6 figures. Damn. And I'm saying that to say, you can do the same thing. You ain't gotta let nobody tell you to go get a job or whatever. That's them trying to. Really, a lot of the time they be hating. Really, they be seeing your motion and seeing your progress and seeing what you got going on. And a lot of people they'll hate on you. They'll they'll give you some advice, but it'll be some hate shit. Really, they really be hating on you and shit. But no, I don't think we should be preaching getting a job. No, we should be preaching starting a business, build a company. You build a job, you make some jobs. You gonna have several jobs. Every one of my businesses, I got several jobs with that company. I got multiple businesses I'm working on right now, and all of them it's a job, and all of them I had to work several different positions. At each one of them I had to be the whole company. I got to be the customer service. I got to be the shipping and receiving. I got to be the delivery driver. I got to be the web designer. I got to be the marketer. I got to be the what? Get a job. I got 90 jobs. The fuck is you talking about? Get a job. You know what people really mean by that? They mean be a slave. Why are you not being a slave? I'm being a slave. Hey man, I heard somebody say that before. I'm being a slave. That means you should have to be a slave too. No, that ain't how this works. This is a capitalist situation. This is a capitalist situation. It doesn't work like that. The people working are at the bottom. That's the bottom. If you working, you at the bottom. You'll never make it to the top. They say work hard. You work hard to get to the top. That ain't true. People at the top don't work hard. They might have worked hard at one time in their life, but that was before they figured it out. And they figured out how to not work hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this hoe done broke on me. But before they figured it out, they was working hard. They were doing like everybody else, trying to figure it out. Working their job, working their job. Bouncing this investment off of that. Doing this, seeing if that worked. Testing this. This didn't work. Try this. Do this other thing. That's how entrepreneurship goes. They was struggling. I don't know. I don't preach that to my kids. Get a job. If my kids want a job, so be it. I'm proud of them for wanting a job. That's them wanting to have some type of motion or something. I'm proud of them for wanting to have a job. But I don't preach to my kids, go get a job. I preach to my kids, start a business. You know, just, do this, get a lawnmower, do this, start a business, do stocks, do this, do that, do something that has something to do with business. Starting a business so you can have your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hot in my motherfucker. I got the door closed and shit. I ain't got the air on. It's the fucking greenhouse effect and the sun coming in. You know what I'm saying? And just heating this motherfucker up and shit. I'm just sitting there. That's how them kids be dying in the car. People leaving their kids in the car and shit. Could you imagine that? Just in the car, just dying and shit. Probably suffocate to death. A lot of people done left their kids in the car and shit. I don't know how you do that. Like, just leave them for real. Just leave them in there. Or they in there for hours and all that. And you ain't got the AC on. Even just that little experience I just had just now was running my temperature up fast in a bitch. I can just imagine being in that bitch for hours and nigga I died. So that's crazy people leaving their kids in the car like that. I be thinking some of them mamas be doing shit on purpose. Nah, but it's a lot of shit I wanted to chop it up on her about though. That was one thing. That whole job energy. I don't like that. I don't like how we push that on our kids. And why do we want to just keep? And I'm not saying. I think I'm wording this wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't be telling your kids not to go get a job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the energy of get a job is too strong in our community. We need to replace that energy with start a business. You know what I'm saying? Like that need to be the energy. Why you sitting over there playing the game all day? You ain't did no marketing for your business? Instead of saying, why you sitting over there playing the game? You ain't look for no job today? How we say, why you over there playing the game? You ain't got online and drop some links on your products today, no, you ain't did that. I'm just saying, why is the push always about working for somebody else? Why is the push not just about creating your own? You can make money creating your own too. So why would we be pushing for the job route is all I'm saying. Like I get it. I get getting having a job though. I done have multiple jobs. I get it. It's a time and place for everything. But I just feel like in the black community we should be more strongly standing on. Let's create enterprise. Let's create. We ain't got a black rental car company. Let's start a black rental car company. We don't have a black that many black banks. Let's get on some black banks. Let's that's this type of shit. That type of growth. Not we all just still running for working for folks, being a slave still. How long we just gonna keep doing that? So we're gonna keep just being a slave, just keep on. Slave, 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 slave. Even the even the people that have money move like slaves. And the black like the rappers and entertainers, all that they have money, they still let them white people tell them what to do and stuff. They still follow behind and they still let the Jewish people and all that tell them what to do and stuff. We gotta come from under that slave, that mind. It's like a slave mind that we got. To where we think we just really need everybody and shit to exist. We really gotta work for other people and we just got to. You don't got to. You can go get a lawnmower. I done did it before. You can go get a lawnmower. You got a truck, especially. Or if you got a car. I had a car when I was doing lawn. As long as your lawn shit can fit in that motherfucker. That's all that matters. You can go get a lawnmower, cut grass. You can make $150, $200 a day. At first. When you first start out. You can make $150, $200. It don't even take long with that fucking it's just all kind of different things you can do. I know people are just so conditioned. People are just been conditioned to go to jail. That's like how we train as humans to just go to school, get a degree, get a job, do this. It's like it trains you into this path. You know what I'm saying? You've been trained into this path. And you just follow it. Okay, whatever y'all say. I'm gonna be scruffy for a minute, y'all. I'm trying to grow. I'm finna grow my beard back out and shit. So I'm finna be scruffy for a second. Super scruffy looking. I'm finna wolf, what they call it, wolf out. I'm finna wolf out. No, but yeah, enough of that though. I just want to speak on that though. You know what I'm saying? That whole job, get a job. I don't know. I think that's whack. I think we should be trying to build businesses straight up. Uh, Doughboy. I want to talk about Doughboy. Doughboy, man. Why y'all? I'm mad. I'm kind of mad at Jumper now. What's his name? Adam 12. What's his name? Why they doing do that? Are they doing it like that too? Like they make a spectacle of him and put him. What's the driving? Or is he just getting on there and just losing the fight, just losing the battle and shit? Shout out Doughboy. I've been watching Doughboy there for a long time. I was watching Doughboy when he was back on he was on the other channel. But can't remember their name and shit. All Deaf Digital. I've been watching Doughboy there since then. Back then. I even spent some money on advertising with them a few times. But when I had my first day companies and all that. But yeah, I've been watching Doughboy for a while. And Doughboy is he don't belong on that show. That's what it is. He's too kind of a person too. You know that ain't his type of thing. You know what I'm saying? All them think about it. Everybody on there is like gangsters, and, you know, they in the streets some type of format. They in the streets or was in the streets or they got that edge to them to where they know how to fucking react fast if somebody says some dumb shit. Or that's one thing I can say about the street people that been in the streets for a long time, or people that's from the hood, or people that's in that type of energy, have a quick reaction time to bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So they working with a faster reaction time. They working with more um, edgier jokes. Like the dude that was on there roasting him, I don't know, I think his name was Kyle or some shit like that. Dude, his whole intention was to just roast the fuck out dope. Like, he was just trying to get dope boy out of there and shit. That's all it was. And dope boy let him do it. That's dope boy. That's where you fucked up. You didn't. It's like you let a nigga just beat you up. It's like you didn't even punch back or nothing. Everybody waiting on you to start swinging back. We're like, damn, why this nigga ain't swinging back? You pleading the fifth and shit. You goddamn me trying to talk. No, man, it's a time for peace and there's a time for war. No boy, that was a time for war. Not necessarily him saying this and that, because words are, you know, I mean, some words will get it popped off. But I'm saying, like, when dude, when dude touched your nipples, though, that's it, bro. You can't, if I'm arguing with a nigga, we can't be arguing and you touch me in any format. I don't give a fuck if it's you just paying me on the show, whatever. We can't be in a tense moment. But we animals. We still animals, y'all. So we can't be sitting there in a tense moment with our hair standing up and all that. We argue. The hair on our back of our neck standing up. We ready to really fight on the cool. But the argument still going. We can't be in that type of situation and you touch me. No. We might, depending on the situation, if you just talking, I might let you get it off. You know, the bitches and hoes and all that. Nah, you probably get fucked up on that. It don't know. It just depends on the context, though. It depends on the context of the situation, though. In the context of that situation, though, yeah, he probably would have got fucked up. Dude probably would have got fucked up. But when he touched you on the nipple, that was it, bro. As soon as he touched you on the nipple, you supposed to beat him up or hit him with something or did something. And that's, just violent. Straight up, my nigga. But on the real though, that boy just ain't that show ain't for him. That's why I hate dude. Dude the one that got the tattoo and everything. Dude got the tattoo. That's one thing you never do. You never get no white people tattooed on you. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever do you get a white people tatted on you, bro. Your ancestors done came so what? You never, I would never, never. I don't give a fuck how much I admire them. There's white people I admire. I would never get no white people tatted on me, bro. No shit ever. I would never do that. But I mean, hey, to each his own. But at the same time, you gotta accept what comes with certain shit too. You gotta think. You think they just roasting you just because they roasting you. Now all of that shit is included. It's the fact that you went and got the tattoo. It's the fact that you letting this nigga call you all kind of bitches and hoes. It's the fact that all of that adding up. And that's why they talking crazy to you. And then you come on us want to fight the other dude. You want to fight him because your daughter was mad that he punked you out or he said whatever he said to you. So your daughter was mad about that. You want to fight him, but now what your daughter gonna think about this shit, fool? You got straight bitch. I ain't never seen a bitch into that degree. And I'm a ex street cat. I ain't never seen nobody get marked marked out as they say on the West. I ain't never seen nobody get marked out to that degree, bro. I would have probably if I wasn't gonna punch a nigga, I probably would have walked out or something. It would have been one of them walk off shows. Niggas that walk off the podcast and shit. I'm saying I would have had one of them walk off shows. I just walked off to them. If I wasn't gonna punch a nigga out, if I wasn't gonna hit a nigga with the microphone stand or punch a nigga out, I would have probably walked off. But if you would touch, as soon as a nigga touch me though, that's when it's over with. If he touch me, it's over with. It's up, and it ain't coming down. So I don't know, man. I just want to speak on that too for a second. That was something I noticed on social media. Is how they were doing the homie and shit. I was like, God damn, they did the homie dirty on that bitch. Did him dirty. Did the homie dirty. And Pico, I'm not letting y'all get away with it either. Why y'all letting Fred crash out like that? Quit letting Fred crash out. You know what I'm saying? I be watching y'all. I be watching Pico them. That's some Texas shit. I be watching y'all shit. And Fred, matter of fact, Fred, I got a cousin named Fred. That live in Houston. And that Fred on that show remind me of that. It's weird. It's weird. Because that Fred on that show, he remind me of that cousin. Like they look alike. It's a lot alike about them. And why y'all letting him crash out like that, bro? I wouldn't even let the homie crash out like that now, bro. We ain't even let you do yourself like that. You trying to get the views off of him. Pico, you wrong a little bit, Pico. Pico, why you let Fred crash out on there like that? You a little wrong for that, Pico. On some real nigga shit though. You letting bro crash out like that. These all the podcasts I be watching. I be just speaking on the shit I be watching and shit. I be watching most of the Texas shit and a lot of the West Coast shit. Like well not a lot, but I watch No Jumper and I watch what else I watch on the West Coast. That's it really. I watch what's the name now? They be having West Coast and them on there talking. I can't remember their damn show. How did I forget the name of people's shit? Oh man, we gotta quit being workers. Start being owners. That's all I'm saying. We gotta start pushing that. And the kids, they already jumping on that. They already on that anyway. But I'm just saying, like, I think that need to be the energy versus get a job energy. I think it need to be more create a business, create company energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm teaching my kids. That's what I be preaching to my kids anyway. You know, and I'm not sitting there saying I don't tell my kids they shouldn't get a